Hello, this is my pre-movie review for the Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman. Never thought I'd be saying that with a straight face. I'm just here at the Westport Cinema, just waiting and... Right, pre-thoughts, what I want to actually see more than anything else is an actual detective movie, because there's been plenty of live-action Batman and all that, but they've never really shown him as what he's most known as the world's greatest detective. So I'm hoping that that's what will happen with matching him up against this sort of like dark noir sort of setting against the Riddler, his greatest mental adversary. And so that's what I'm hoping for, and I'm hoping that I can look at Robert Pattinson as Batman and not see the twat from Twilight. And I'm also quite looking forward to see what they do with Riddler, mainly because without this version, the only live-action version of Riddler outside of Gotham is Jim Carrey, and that's not really Riddler, is it? So I got reasonably high hopes. So let's see what they do with it. Okay, I'm back from the cinema. Just watched The Batman for the first time, and wow, I'm genuinely amazed at how much I enjoyed that movie. Genuinely, I put it right up there with Dark Knight. Controversial, I know, but it was really bloody good. I got exactly what I wanted for a 3-hour-long epic noir detective movie from Batman, and mentally going up against Riddler, and every time Riddler was doing one of his new riddles, I was in my head just like, okay, what could be the answer here? The rich need me and the poor have me. Nothing. Just trying to be clever clogs. And I mean, there's so many talking points. I'm going to try and keep this short. It's supposed to be like a quick little quick fire review. And Robert Pattinson as Batman is surprisingly badass when he's in costume. When he's in costume, I look and I feel Batman, just the Dark Knight, the Caped Crusader, the world's greatest detective. Out of the costume, not so much. Okay, I know that he's only like 2 years into his career as Batman, and so he's still processing a lot of stuff. He's still getting used to it, and that shows in the movie. Like how his gadgets, they constantly go back and forth between realistic and unrealistic. Like, I do have the feeling, that they were trying to go for a more realistic movie, kind of like along the lines of Dark Knight, but it's to the point where it kind of feels a bit like Iron Man, in how each time Tony Stark appears in a new movie, his armor gets more advanced. Like at the start, it was just this big clunky thing, and then next time, it could actually attach itself. Then it's kind of flying with jets, and then by the end, he's got like nano machines. And there's a bit of a feel of that in the setup of the movie. That, like if you haven't seen it, maybe cover your ears. There's the one scene where he is escaping from GCPD, and he throws on the wingsuit, and it's not like the Dark Knight where it has with his cape, just sort of falls out into the shape of a batwing. It's a literal wingsuit with a little parachute thing to help him slow down, and he tries it. He gets out of there, gets caught on a train sign. It's like a low-hanging bridge or something, and just wipes out and just smashes his body into the fucking road. And I feel like that's probably what gives him like motivation to come up with a better way of doing that, because that way it's not really meant for like urban environments and close spaces. So that then he's probably going to start developing the actual Batman wing cape glider. And this time there's so much to talk about. I love how Gotham didn't just look like New York. That's the other problem I had with The Dark Knight. One of the few problems I had with Dark Knight. In Batman Begins, because it was all sort of shot in the alleys, then it did have this sort of like dirty, grungy feeling of Gotham. But because it was kind of like shot a lot of overhead stuff for The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, it just looks like New York, which I'm pretty sure it is. So but this one, it actually has a level of that Gothic architecture that Gotham is named after, and the interior of everywhere, it's so stylized. Like the inside of Wayne Manor, it's almost to the level of Tim Burton, and I just loved it for that. And Riddler, genuinely creepy as hell. Granted, the one from the comic side, typically no, he's less. This one's a bit more Zodiac killer kind of thing. Like he's really, you get some real Zodiac killer vibes from him. But he does actually act like Riddler when he starts getting into it and starts giving all his riddles and all that. Then yeah, I do end up seeing the Riddler. But yeah, it's definitely a creepier, more serial killer version of Riddler. And I'm completely fine with that. I mean, it was a battle of wits, and Batman just like how he just slowly stalks into a crime scene. And yeah, he doesn't just appear. Well, he does a couple of times. He just sort of appears out of nowhere in most scenes, but in a couple of scenes. But most of the time, he just slowly enters from the shadows, and it's really, really cool. Like I'm pretty sure I started with a different point about Robert Pattinson when he was out of the suit. Okay, in the suit, total badass, clearly a dark, intelligent mind underneath that mask. But okay, because he's got the eye makeup, and Christian Bale did that as well, and I'm pretty sure all the live action Batmans did it. So yeah, and he's got the cowl on, so his hair's all messed up. So when he just takes off the cowl, he's still got what looks like bed hair and mascara on, and he just constantly frowning. He looked like such a little emo. I was expecting him to start playing My Chemical Romance or something. There's a 90s reference for you. I don't know what the modern emos listen to. What did them modern emos listen to? And different thing. And there's this. It got to the point where there's literally the time he turns to Alfred and says, "You're not my real dad," and I just cringed. But that was the only time. He still had his own flavor of Batman, and I guess that since he doesn't care about being Bruce Wayne, that's why he hasn't developed the whole Playboy alter ego thing. So him still dealing with his own internal pain and all that, I can understand it. I can forgive the emo-ness. Really, there's nothing big to complain about this movie, and I think there's a couple of small niggly bits. But yeah, there's no genuine problem with it. It's an excellent, solid 8 out of 10. Yeah, would definitely go see it again. The only time I actually noticed that it was 3 hours long was the fact that I was absolutely bursting for a piss towards the end because I had a large Coke Zero. So that was the only time that I actually noticed that it was going on for ages, because my bladder was about to explode. And that's my fault, not its. And God, there's 100 different things I could talk about with this, but I'm going to try and keep it short. Oh, it's not that short, is it? But yeah, great movie, and fair play to you, Rob. Fair play to you. Don't do another Twilight. Stick with Batman. You're good at it.